We did this in Dimensional Mastery also, just so, like, the MMS doesn't understand that they're not the only magical god certified lineage in existence. Anyway, rules for the magicians, also known as entitlements. You guys are full of entitlements, and there's no room for any actual obedience to divine order. It's why your guys' life sucks and you can't manipulate the matrix at all. Period. There are two classes we have to take in Dimensional Mastery, and one is Universal Law. I am Universal Law to everyone. Why bother taking that class? You should. You should pay Star to take that class, or she'll hand it to me by Gabra. Or by Bina. It doesn't matter. Universal law is this. Old Egyptian magic. The law of one. That means if you guys think you can separate yourselves from me at all, you're deluded. You will have to reconcile every word that comes out of my mouth. Period. I am the alpha queen of the planet. Reconcile that. Rules for the magicians. This was the shitty, dirty handout given from the MMS. Rules for magicians. Code of ethics for light workers. 1. His or her strength is affected by the quality of life he or she leads. Quality of life. You guys have none. I have seen very few people on the planet have any quality of life. Any. Monks and monasteries usually have a high quality of life. They have a Zen mindset. They have gardens to tend to, fresh food. They have discipline. They usually stay in shape. Quality. You guys are usually crazy narcissistic pricks and have no quality. How do you live in the matrix? I hate using that word because the matrix is actually everything. How do you live in Western society and have a quality of life? Get Hogwarts built. Create a community for people. Create the biggest little farm on the planet. That's the baseline. Quality of life. Period. If the birds do not have a high quality of life, then you guys do not have a high quality of life. It's an as above, so below teaching. Two, one should be withdrawn from worldly involvement. You guys misinterpret the word worldly. Worldly does not mean well-traveled and enlightened. Worldly means attachment to materialism. So all your fucking sunglasses that cost $500 and you have 10 pairs, or your stupid Prada shoes that you just stepped in dog shit with, like all of that, all your fucking Botox, worldly involvement, done. You cannot be a seraphim in training at all and be attached to materialism. These pearls are like a magic, and the minute that it breaks, it's going into a garden for setting a magic grid prayer. It was also a gift. You have to understand there is a difference. I barely feel like I need to do this and actually like buy, like, just so you guys understand, I would only have one background. But I'm doing this to dumb it down for you guys. I give you movies from the Western society to train your brain and give you the codes and the codons and the reference library that I'm going to manipulate you with. Period. I also give you songs too for those audio people. Number 3. One should be balanced. This means this. Do not burn out. Do not crash and burn. That's disgusting unless you can wake up the next day looking like shit and get back to work. One should be balanced. That means you do not eat too healthy that you look like shit. You eat healthy and feed that little gremlin in you that goes, I need a chocolate bar too. That. You work no more than 8 hours a day unless you have to. And only 6 days a week. I'm training myself to do more in trying to trick my brain, and it never fucking bends. And there's a reason. I don't know how to yet. We will cover the 8 of Pentacles, 8 hours of work a day later. The mystery school has this teaching where it's like, nobody is productive for more than 4 hours of work. Not true. 8. You're not gonna sit on your fucking lazy asses with broken fucking spines. Do you understand? Working 4 hours a day on my planet. One should be disciplined. Let me reiterate. If you have a broken spine, you can write a light language grid for 8 hours a day. You can set grids. You can boss people around. You can work. Four. One should be disciplined. What does that mean? Disciplined. That means you have an empty cup and are ready to learn. Period. Over and over and over and over and over again. To the death. Every day. Every day. Forever. You cannot learn without discipline. Discipline is disciple. Until you are a master, you have to learn. Your choice is to learn your lesson or fucking die. Go into God or go into death. Same thing. Five. This is by Alpheus Levy, I don't even care. The magus should not eat with those whom he or she does not esteem, and must live in the most uniform and methodical existence or manner. This looks like OCD lifestyle without the crazy attached. Practical. Like, I have to turn that door handle 5 times because I'm setting a magic portal grid into it. Not because I have a demon telling me, do you understand? One has a forward intention and the other is just dogma. Continued. The magus should not eat with those he or she does not esteem. I have a really funny story about the ibis here, because at the end of Kabbalah, on the final retreat weekends, little Miss Ibis thing would sit and eat by herself, looking like a ninja turd. Like somehow she was better than her students. Whatever. So, in Dimensional Mastery, the teachers would sit in one table. This is the best story in the world. It's for every one of you. In Dimensional Mastery, we ate together for a month, you guys. It was a month-long retreat. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, period. There was a dining room, and the teachers would sit in one table and all the students would sit in the other ones. And then sometimes some of the higher students would go and go to the teacher's table. And me and another girl were the youngest girls in this class, period. I was probably pretty low on the totem pole of the lineage. Anyway, I forced myself to sit next to Star or at Star's table every single meal I could. And pretty much I puck up your courage. I know you're terrified that Star's just gonna cobra at you. But go and sit next to her. Force it, force it, force it. Why? So I could build an energy bridge to Star. And guess what? I then moved to her home and was her slave. So whatever. Do you understand? If you're afraid of me, force yourself to get over it. And then maybe it will free you one day. There is an agreement being made when you eat with somebody. My thoughts in my food. and their thoughts and their food going down their body. So it's best if you're sitting with people lower than you to be putting magic spells in their food and in yours. And always, always protego totalum and salvio hexia your own food. And this, you will have a grimoire, and we will write every single food with our magic intention going into it. So that what? Everybody's food and cellular, you are what you eat, when there is intention retroactively in all the food you've ever eaten, that goes into your body and metabolizes into your cells. Yes, we can put intentions in the vitamins too. All of it. So that's going to be in Secrets of the Mexican Shamans and Cooking with Magic if you're watching this out of order. All right. So this is why to have tea with the queen is an honor. Do you understand? This is also why I used to make tea for all of my clients coming in and let them shit their stories out at me for an hour before we even began any work. Why? It's an energetic therapy process. Five, continued. He or she should have the most exalted self-respect and should consider him or herself a dethroned sovereign. I have a throne now. Should consider him or herself a dethroned sovereign who consents to existence, that he or she may recover his or her crown. Now, understand this. I just posted an entire Dragon King and Queen test online. That is how you would get your crown back. Nothing less. Nothing less. You'd have to be with your real twin flame in the physical manifest flesh and be able to do all the crazy Kali Shiva magic forever for everyone. You would have to build all the Hogwarts needed. You would have to turn the planet into a farm that produces green and produce for everyone. Nothing less. At all. You'd have to return the Garden of Eden back to planet Earth in the physical. Period. Number 6, utopia. This is why Cinderella understood utopia. Number 6, being amiable and well-behaved towards everyone. He or she should never permit him or herself to be absorbed in social relations. This is the nicest thing I can do to everyone. This. Why? I starved to death on a beach 4 whales and you did not show up or help. Get over yourself. If I give it to you up front, it's less likely to come up from behind. Seven. Okay, let's talk about tone policing here. Being amiable and well-behaved towards everyone. It is better that I am truthful than nice. It is better that I am honest versus polite. Prove to me otherwise. In a logical proof, if you need. And then look at all the science and data behind holographic wave patterns and how everything is just a projection of our brains. Six. Oh, wait, let's continue 5. He or she should never permit him or herself to be absorbed in social relations. This is why. When you care about what others think, like celebrities, they control you. Do not give a shit about the gossip. Tear them down instead. Create the gossip. Manipulate the matrix to bend their will into doing planetary service. That is your job. You are not to care what anybody thinks. Ever. This is why Kali Run's higher self looks like Maeve. I'd rather be seen as cockbiter than anything. Six. He or she should be withdrawn from circles where he or she does not possess some initiative. This means when you fade into the background, because 1, you don't care, and 2, nobody cares about you, then you just leave. Instead of bang your head against a brick wall. It's like my entire existence on planet Earth. This is why I'm the alpha queen now. You guys did it. But so did Lucifer. H, which is what? 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Agrippa. Know the virtue, measure, order, and degree of your own soul. in relation to the powers of the universe. Understand your place. I am a planet. You guys can't even take care of a planet. You guys can't even take care of your body. In Star's teachings, your soul's final incarnation is a star. But I channel a galaxy, so I know that that is not true. A galaxy is a soul's final incarnation until it merges with the higher intergalactic component. It's like a sub-galaxy, and then it's just the universe. You guys are none of these things. Not in the physical. A magician who does not know himself or herself well is likely to work magic that will not be good for him or her and may endanger the most vital part of his or her magical equipment, his or her will. This is like deciding to be a fake celebrity fraud instead of a glamorous spiritual teacher. You damage your willpower when you let me repeat this. You damage your willpower when you unground. Just that should be enough. But let me explain this in a Kabbalah way. If you cannot pass the gate of fairy judgment, they will kill you. You damaged your will by making the wrong choice. You stole your own willpower away from yourself. That was number 9. Number 10. The quality that distinguishes the great from the ordinary worker of magic is imagination. A great magician is an image magician. They can see with their brains and play. A shitty magician has no imagination. The magician card on the tree of life sits from Keter, the crown, to the right brain, not the left. The left is just the fucking fool. I imagine to do this. Let's see how we can play. Knowing it will create grave consequences, so we don't play with magic, but we play because we have to. There is a difference. Frodo likes to play with his balls. Do not play with magic like that. Play like how you play with a 5-year-old. Knowing if you throw them up in the air and you miss, they're gonna crack their head open. Do you get it? (11) Throughout history, magic has been tied to tradition. Once an Egyptian queen, always an Egyptian queen. Always. It also works like this. All your fucking rituals, they mean something. Usually a magic. Like a Christmas tree. Figure out how to do it according to fairy law. (12) This is where I skewer Goodney. Danger. Magic can backfire because of limited self-control. So if I rile your guys' emotions up, and then my queenie one that alphas you guys, because I'm more aligned to higher karmic will than you, backfires to protect me, that's your guys' fault. You did not calculate before acting. Let me finish that statement. Danger. Magic can backfire because of limited self-control and limited understanding. This is like the court jester cunt coming onto my Facebook telling me I'm a bot. And I go, dude, your name is Court Jester. And then that will forever be what she's known as in the future. Forever. And it will be imprinted in her mind forever. Why? Because she didn't listen. 13. Control over oneself is the ability to concentrate and discipline the will and direct it towards the accomplishment of one's needs and wants. That means if what I say triggers you into warrior instead of what you guys actually wanted or needed, that's your fault. That's like Batman being trained by Ra's al Ghul. And Ra's going, I just fucking slayed you because you went for the ego stroke instead of solid ground. Every single one of you guys does this. Some of you are better at going for solid ground instead. "14." I like how it stops at 14 because that's the Empress. Once you're wearing the fucking crown, there's no need to continue. Everything else, I can just sit back and relax and watch everybody else suffer. "14. She or he must bring about a successful combination of intense desire and concentration with an appropriate object." What does that mean? It's fucking funny. This is what it means. You have to be both disciplined and want something really bad to manifest it. That's it. Period. Concentration and passion. That's the key to life. That is the rigidest rules ever in existence. So, do I need any more? Do I have any off of the top of my head that I could add to this list? Besides the law of one. That would be number 15. You guys are fucked. Do you know how much processing you're going to have to go through to live like that? And just to understand that this is like law. Don't worry, you'll find all the TED Talks and all the science and everything just to trigger your brain into understanding that this is the law. So funny. This is why I like to say I'm a tarotist. Any witch on the planet that's ever pulled a tarot card for themselves understands that shit is scary. It is traumatic, and it lasts forever in your brain. Forever. It's Inception. So yeah, I'm gonna matrix mindfuck everybody forever. Free my whales today. All right, Collie Wren out.